Good evening, folks. Happy October 7th. Welcome to TGL. My name is Grindhead Jim. Let's talk about the thumbnail. Let's talk about why you're all here. No matter what I called today's show, I can assure you it's going to be the final episode of TGL. I want to be very clear about that. I was very direct and I was very vague at the same time when I announced this, because I haven't uploaded anything in almost 3 months. I haven't been live in almost 3 months. And I was concerned that the algorithm would bury me, and I wanted you guys to hear this live if possible. Okay? So I apologize for the dramatic nature of which this was announced, but I assure you, I'm not lying to you. This is the final episode of TGL. It will differ from other episodes of TGL. I will not be bringing up Big Bad Toy Store. There will not be a panel today. I want to talk to you guys about what we've been doing together for the last 3 and almost a half years. Okay? That's why I'm here. And I am going to talk about the future. Now, I see some of you guys speculating about what it means and what it doesn't mean. None of you know. So I don't, that's fine. I appreciate the support and everything, but I want to be very clear about, what's going on today. It hasn't been 3 months. Yeah. The last time I streamed was I'm 2 weeks shy of 3 months since I last live streamed. That's true. And I want to be very clear about what this does not mean. I am not deleting my channel. I'm not leaving social media. I'm not done collecting. I'm not withdrawing from the rest of you. Doesn't even mean necessarily that I'm stopping making content, okay? But the TGL that we, know and love is done. It's done. I'm going to explain to you how I came to that decision. And I also want to take a moment after I've done that to kind of reminisce a little bit. I don't have any clip shows prepared or anything like that, but I figure we could talk about it. All right. So thank you, all of you, for being here. I know I took a big, swath trying to get you guys in here. So, and I appreciate you, whether you want to call it taking the bait or I call it genuine concern and interest. I'm glad that you're all here. I see a lot of you in here. I'm going to run the risk of missing some of you, so I'm not going to say everybody. In fact, I'm not going to say anybody. I see you all here, and I love you very much. I'm glad that you're here. I will pick up this comment, though, from Ian Sweeney, who says, the real question is if those bags been picked up yet. Nope. They're right there. They're right there. Joe DeBecky says, I was checking this week. I figured you went underground. I still tweeted so I knew that I was okay. And you're correct. I am okay. We're all right. And hello to everyone else that's coming in. Okay, let's just call it what it is. So at the beginning of the year, I revealed that I was let go from my job. I'm still unemployed, unfortunately. And, we've been working through that as we go along. I don't know why alerts aren't working. Give me a second here. Let me fix this for you. Been a while. Been a while since I did this. That's right there. Okay. Is that even on? Yeah, it should be. Refresh that. So I got a couple super chats I gotta acknowledge here. I apologize. It's not working for some reason. I don't know why that is. That's weird. Anyway, let me go back up here. Salzburg with the $5 super chat. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. And with a super sticker of $2 as well. It says, lucky enough to get work done a reasonable time. Salt, I'm real glad to see that you're here. I miss you very much. You might, if you squint, you might see the Migos, Spidey, and Cap on display over here. You don't normally get to see them because they're over there. I'm not sure where they're going to be moving forward, but we're moving them. So yeah, I've been working since January. Been trying like hell. I've come close a couple times. I've been looking into some freelance stuff. I've looked at contract work, and to make absolutely certain that we're living at the level that we should, and that my hard work is staying where it's supposed to. My career continues to evolve. I'm looking in, while it's a wide range of industries, the type of work I'm looking for is pretty specific. Those of you that have helped me out along the way, I appreciate that. But this is not a woe is me kind of a thing. Yeah, boy! Melvor with the $20 super chat. I don't know why it's suddenly working, but I'm glad that it is. Thank you, brother. I really appreciate that very, very, very much. And it's taken a lot of life out of me. We had some income with our rental property. We had tenants and everything was going through. I had talked about, and I had changed the show from Toy Grinds Live to TGL. I put out a couple of video essays, and I thought I was kind of on the mental mend, so to speak, right? And the last show that we did in July, I was supposed to have a panel show the very next day. I didn't say anything. I didn't show up. And then I just didn't show up for months. And there's no excuse for that. I apologize for not communicating with you guys. Yeah, boy! Jordan says I wanted to hear the noise. Appreciate that. Thank you for the $2, by the way. Very generous. I appreciate that. But I fell into a really dark depression around that time. My unemployment had completely run out. I'm not eligible again until January. In Texas, they're real strict with that, and I completely understand why. Yeah, boy! Bill Lifted tips $4.99 via Super Chat says, whatever you do, wherever you are, we love you. I love you right back. Thank you, brother. So that was happening when it just so coincided with the fact that the lease was up for our tenants and they chose not to renew. So now we had no income of any kind. And without going into details that I'm not going to go into, my wife stepped up, and it's because of her quick thinking and kindness of heart that we're still okay. We ended up really mobilizing. Our management company found us some new tenants, and that has finally started. So we're back to floating. We're no longer, drowning per se. So that's been good. But even after I talked about, bringing back the show as TGL and doing different kinds of things and trying to put things in different buckets and widen everything, I was still struggling to figure out what the hell to do. And a lot of that revolved around the state of this room. So keen-eyed viewers are going to notice that this room looks very different. Certain shelves on across the wall look the same because they haven't been touched yet. But a lot of them have changed if you're really keen-eyed. You'll notice that there are from here all the way over here, there's nothing boxed on the wall. Yeah, boy! Boba Hicks with the generous £2 super chat says, Jim, your name is Jim. And my response should be, yes. Throughout the year, up until about a week and a half ago, I hadn't changed anything in here. And anytime something came in, it just stacked up behind me. So right here, you'll see a couple boxes here. So I pulled stuff down. We're going to depackage them and put them up, which I will explain. But Eternia was right here. There were toys stacked in front of that. Toys stacked over here. Toys stacked in the corner. Toys stacked to my left. They're everywhere. And there was no way to there was no way to work in here at all. And I didn't see a way to get there. I didn't have the energy to start. And for those of you that have never... If you've never been depressed, you don't know what that's like, you don't know someone who's been through it or it's been explained to you, it's going to be difficult for you to understand this. But I didn't have any energy to do anything. All the weight that I had lost, I gained back. I wasn't treating my body very well. I wasted away my days. I'm thankful to say that I didn't go deeper into the well when it came to drugs and alcohol. I'm kind of at the same level that I always have been, which I understand is not your average person, but at the same time, I was okay. If it wasn't for my wife, I don't know what I'd be doing right now. Honestly. I have no idea how I would have gotten through this. None. And it is 100% because of her that I'm here today, and that I have the energy to do this today. So, I know she's in chat right now, at least she was. And when you have a chance, thank her for me. She's yelling because of us. I am saying that my personal motivation is directly fueled by her and our family. And yes, it's a cyclical, Ouroboros kind of an energy situation. We support each other through everything. But that only happens because she's my wife. Yeah, boy! My dear old friend Chris Platypus just tipped $20 via Super Chat. Thank you. because I know depression struggle well. Hang in there. I need to point this out here. I'm not telling you guys the situation because I'm e-begging here. So I appreciate it, and if you want to give, hey, please do it. But that's not what this is about. Okay, I want to be very clear. I couldn't get off the couch half the time, and the other half I got off. It was very, very painful to do so. It was hard to walk to the bathroom. My body was a reflection of my mental state. Okay. There are people that either don't understand or don't believe in mental health struggles. Yeah, boy! Are going to, again, they're not going to understand. They're going to think that I'm making this shit up or something. Keith, with a super chat of 10 pounds. Thank you for that, by the way. Says, we are so overdue for a jam/chat. Yes, we are. Mental health is precious to us, and I'll ride with you all the way, brother. You're never alone. I appreciate that, and thank you. And sometimes it takes something small. Sometimes it takes something big. Everyone's different. Every situation, every time you get pulled down, it feels different. Yeah, boy! Roman a Cardboard, my brother John says, $5, super chat, thank you. Been there too, Jim. With you always, remember you're loved. I know. That's one thing I never doubted. I never doubted that you guys love me right back. That was never a problem, right? You can know that all the people around you love you very much. And it just, and then you feel guilt for not being enough. And it was never about it not being enough. It was simply that I had to process grief and loss of my livelihood. I had worked. This wasn't just another job for me that I had lost. This was something that I had worked for the better part of 20 years almost to get to. Like, my goal was always to teach on some level. And I found through doing various technical jobs and service-oriented jobs around technology, I eventually found my way into a training and teaching role at a job that I really, truly enjoyed. Now, in hindsight, there were stressors within that job that I'm much better off for not having. But I often said, nearly daily, that I was doing the job I wanted most to be doing in the world. And it was true. So when that fell out from under me, and they're telling me it's not my fault, it's like, it's not fair when that happens. But then to be told on top of that, in the exit interview, like, it's not your fault, this has nothing to do with your performance. I'm like, well, why is it then? The why did this happen to me, right? And you combine that with all this time to try and find work and nothing's going through. Like I said, I come close a couple times, and there were things that were beyond my control and the people that were hiring's control. Maybe it'll happen later, maybe it won't. But to get letter after letter from companies saying, we love your resume, but we're not going to move forward. I wonder sometimes if, because of my experience, that they think I'm too expensive. They won't even start the conversation. I don't know what to do. I've rewritten my resume 4 or 5 times. So it's just been, that has been what's been brewing. And then with that comes the guilt of not feeling like I'm not providing for my family. And it's been hard. It's honestly been the hardest thing I've ever done. And to have that unconditional support, that unconditional love that comes from my family and from you guys too, keeps me going. But like I was saying before, sometimes no matter what it is you think you need to move forward, whatever it is you think you need to process and get things moving, it almost always is unexpected, you know. Um, Meeting Lauren was completely unexpected, as you guys well know. And us, you know, again, when I started the show, if you'd have told me that I'd have the size collection that I have, and I'd have this show, and I'd be married, I wouldn't believe you. And yet here we are. Okay. And it has been such a worthwhile endeavor. Okay. And I appreciate it so much. One night, a little over a month ago, Lauren and Gabby, our dog, went out for a walk, as they are often to do. And when they come back, Lauren sticks her head in the door and says, "A cat followed Gabby back to the apartment." Now, we've been talking about and had already made the decision that we were just going to bite the bullet and get a cat. Something told me I needed to get a cat. Because I've been wanting one forever, and they're very therapeutic animals for me. It was like, you know what? It's worth the money. Let's just do it, right? So this kitten follows Gabby home, and I have a no, don't bring any strays into this house policy, generally speaking. Mainly because if given enough rope, I will hang myself with too many cats, right? I want to save all of them, right? Like, take me into a PetSmart when they have those adoptions up, and you will see a man break down crying because he can't take them all home. But she mentioned how well the two of them were playing together, and you know, the cat was persistent with Gabby. Gabby didn't have any problems relating to the cat, and I was trying so hard to hold my emotions in because I had a feeling. And I didn't want to go back on what I had said, right? And after hearing Lauren and hearing Gabby's happy noises, I thought, well, I can't let this kitten go back out into the world without at least making sure that they're okay. So I said, bring it in. Real curtly, bring me the cat. And Lauren brings in this cat, and I held it, and it just purred, and it licked my nose once. I checked it for injuries. I checked it for mange. I checked it for cleanliness. Cat had kept itself really clean somehow. And this wasn't like a kicked out of the nest too soon cat. The cat was about 6 weeks old. And I held the cat. And I said, well, we got to feed it. And we got to do something. And I said, close the door. And we had to have this long conversation because she thought I was mad at her or something. Because I was being very aggressively shut off. Because I did not want to let this cat in, right? And we had ordered through, I think it was DoorDash, Walgreens or something. We were just like a couple cans of food. We had, you know, food dish and whatnot. And we fed the cat. I mistakenly thought that the cat was a girl. It's a boy. As his large fuzzy balls that later came in indicated. Felt bad. But it, you know, when we stayed up to make absolutely sure that we would have all the things we need for this cat. We didn't have a litter box or anything like that. So we had to wait until I think 5 a.m. or something. We'd ordered the litter box and the litter from like a Walmart or something that wasn't yet open. They opened at like 6. And they brought the litter box, had the litter. And by that time, we'd said we got to give it time. But barring any really weird behavioral changes, we probably need to keep this cat. And within 24 hours, I knew, she knew, and yeah, boy. AAA Goofs says tips $20. Thank you through Super Chat. Says miss you, love you, hang in there. Thank you. But we the decision at that time to take Jasper in, Jasper the cat. Those of you that follow on Instagram and in other places, you've probably seen pictures of him. He's with me nearly 24 hours a day. He's still just as affectionate. He's a little shit, though. He gets in trouble. We were working on the toy room last week, and he comes bolting in here and just, like bowling pins, just knocked down a bunch of Marvel Legends figures that were on a shelf, and I was so pissed off. But it is what it is. Like, it's new problems to solve, right? But he's been with us a little over a month now, and my mental health has improved dramatically. I've cried more, even though those of you that know me and you've been on the show, I'm a crier. I do my best to let my emotions out, and I availed myself of a couple therapy sessions as well, and between that and Jasper, was starting to kind of get my energy back, get my mojo back, and so that kind of culminated in last week. I said, okay, I need to get some stuff done. So we finally said, okay, we have to sit down. We got to fix this toy room up, because I think it was Joe DeBecky that earlier said, please tell me you're going loose collection. I've always been a loose collector. I've just been keeping stuff in boxes because I didn't want to be bothered to open them. I've always been a loose collector. I just happened to not open many of my toys for the last couple of years. That's not been the intent, but that's been the result. And I want you guys all to know I'm seeing all of your messages of support here, and I appreciate it. Each and every one of you, I appreciate it. I don't mean to not be calling those out, but I appreciate you guys very much. So we decided to do it. And for those of you that remember the old display, boxes stacked all the way up, right? So we come in here and we start pulling boxes down. Just start pulling shit down. Because if those of you that know, especially Patreons and YouTube members know, this is like a mosaic puzzle where you're sliding stuff around. You got to clear space to then have the space to put stuff up, because the problem also was not just everything was in a box or a package. They're all mixed together when I intend to display the toys on their own, right? So I can't just clear one type of toy off of a shelf, depackage it, and put it up. There was turtles here, turtles there, turtles over here, turtles there, and to get stuff together, we just had to pull everything off of the shelf, stack them with like for like, so I could be like, okay, here's this, here's this, here's this, here's this. And that took an entire day just to get to that point. And then you put some of them back on the shelf to try and make room to work. So you're taking packaged stuff off the shelf, you're reorganizing what you have, you're putting them back. And we made space, so the attorney is over here up against the wall. You might be able to see a little tiny bit of it over here through Red Tornado's arm or whatever, but it's right there. And so it got to a point where, okay, now I can work. Came in the next day, decided to work on Voyager class Transformers first. So that's this shelf here. So all my Transformers are on that shelf. And then when that got done, I started working on the Ninja Turtles. The Technodrome reissue had just arrived. So I was like, I'm going to put all this shit together. So I put together the Mutant Mayhem playset, which was a bitch to do. Because the flexible plastic that makes it really durable is really hard to work with. Once it was together, then you put the Technodrome together, and the big thing for both of those playsets is stickers. Holy shit. So many stickers. If you get one of these Technodrome reissues, get yourself a pair of tweezers like this. Get yourself an angled pair of tweezers, or you're not going to make it. You're not going to make it. I'm telling you right now. So that took, I think we figured 5 or 6 hours that day just putting together turtle stuff. And then Lauren comes in and we start putting stuff up there. So you probably see over there the van, Android Krang. Yes, that is a BXT, ASN, whatever the fucking thing is. That's a good Krang. Get yourself that Krang if you can. When I put out the turtle reissue, the remastered turtles, because I have those handy. So those are all the turtles on there. April's up there, Splinter's up there. And then all my other turtle villains are like down here behind all these boxes. And like right here, floor to there. With the exception of that. Yeah, boy! Melvor with the super chat, thank you very much, says, you better not lose my bags. They're right fucking there! They're right there! Why am I losing your fucking bags? So from the floor all the way to that bootleg Spider-Man, everything you see there is Marvel Legends. And there's a Marvel Legends Ghost Rider covering that up. There's Marvel Legends behind the Snake Mountain right there. There's Marvel Legends front to back on this shelf here. There's more over there, all in the package. We had to move all these around, and we still got more to do. We did the turtle stuff, and then I started clearing off for the Grayskull. So those of you that are Patreon members or YouTube channel members, they have access to me talking my way through putting together the Castle Grayskull. A long time ago, I promised that I would make that available to members and Patreon members, because that was like the ultimate symbol of this collection, like starting to look the way it's supposed to look, right? And it took me a year and a half just to get to that point. So it's still up there. You can still access it, but I'm never making it public on the channel. That's a promise I made to them, and I'm keeping that promise. So if you want to see that, you got to go over there. And then I restored my Crystal Castle. That's my She-Ra Crystal Castle, which has been on that shelf the whole time. Just been covered up with Mattel Creations boxes for the most part. Put all the parts together that I had. I am still missing one little piece. I thought I had it. I don't have it, which sucks, but we'll get there. But I restored that, put all the parts together, put it in there, put her there, and moved a few figures around. And I took yesterday off because, well, been working hard. And you can see here we're at a point where I can put together the vintage Snake Mountain. Yes and no. I have all the parts, but the stickers are in the closet somewhere. And I don't have, right there's just toys. I can't get to the closet. So I'm going to put the vintage one aside. And we'll build the new one, put it up. And then the next step is going to be depackaging every Motu I can find. Which is all in here. Which will be all my Motu. Except for the ones I've already depackaged, which are in these bins over here, right? So depackage everything I have out here, put it on the shelf. These 3 shelves. That's a tall order to fit that many figures and stuff on there. We'll see. And Once that is done, then the Marvel Legends get to go out, and that'll be like a whole day thing of just depackaging, put them up, depackaging, put them up, and then putting extra parts in these tackle boxes that I reviewed last year. And so, but but the wheel is in motion. Okay, this thing is rolling, and I also realized, that I hadn't been doing anything, and I felt bad. I felt bad that I hadn't been talking to you guys. And there are some commitments that I had made earlier in the year that are coming up. So I was like, well, I need to come back. I need to make good on some of those commitments, figure out what the fuck I'm going to do. All right. So before I reveal that, let me go ahead and just do this. I'm going to go back through chat here. Yeah, you guys are overloading my chat ninja. Like it's full. Holy shit. No one says that depression is a vicious cycle. Glad I broke free of it. I don't think I'll ever be free of it, but I'm just able to manage it better. Salzburg says it took him 2 years to bounce back from losing his finances job. I know that story. Ricky saying, I won't pretend to know how depression is because I don't know anything about it, but I just wish the best for you and hope everything is better. I appreciate that. Billy Wifta says it happened. Same thing happened to him in 2018. It's very traumatic. And yeah, I know what you've gone through. My beloved wife, and I hope I won't break reading this. Lauren says, Jim is the leader in our family and is the hardest worker. This year may not have been a lot of good luck, but that doesn't mean that he has been working hard at it. Depression is hard. But Jim has never lost his fight for all things that he loves. Jim is the best, and it's no wonder why I married him. Better together, Jim. I love you. I love you right back. Bjorn says, depression sucks, but you have more than some because you have someone to help you through it. It's a true story. Lauren also follows up with, I love that Jim introduced me to this community. There's nothing but love and fun here. Thank you for being here for my husband. And you guys followed my instructions. Thanking her. Thank you for that. Prince Platypus with a proper correction says, you don't get cats. Cats deign to grace you with their presence. And Swiggles, I see you. I will be happy to see you this weekend. We'll let you know. You let me know. Whatever the fuck. Joe DeBecky says, dude, in my heyday, we had 15 cats, no joke. Yeah, but I'm in an apartment. We're looking at buying a house at some point here, and at that point, maybe. Never say never, right? Lots of shit. I'll get 20. I don't give a fuck. But we have other animals we want to get. We want to get more dogs. We want to get goats. We want to get cats. But there has to be a balance, right? There has to be a balance. And yes, Salt, cat distribution system is at work here. Yes. Yes, the cat chooses you 100%. It's kind of like the opposite of Pokemon, right? Joe's got some zingers today, man. I love you, Joe. Says faith is the key. You have to open yourself up to the universe. Faith in what? That's up to you. True story. And the thing is, it wasn't that I had lost faith. I ran out of gas, man. I just ran out of gas. I didn't know what to do. It really screwed me up for a while. But I'm glad that I'm doing better. I'm never going to be... there's no cure for this, but you can feel better. Keith says, we have 9 cats, all rescued, soon to be 10 with a kitten at 10 weeks. Cat's the best. True story. Stu in the house. I hope you had a good shift, my friend, and thank you for being here. I know it's not easy being as late as it is over there. Manic Plastic says, hey, May, boxes take up too much space. I pretty much threw away all my boxes. The only boxes that I tend to keep are things that are like really special to me. I keep all my card backs, and I have binders for those. I still haven't done all of that yet, but there's card backs all over the place too, and then the boxes and whatnot. So like we keep a lot of like pretty much all the Motu boxes. But you can break a lot of those down and store them, stuff like that. But most things I toss the boxes. Lauren knows this. As soon as we open, I'm like, get rid of that shit on my face. Oh, and then there's this shelf got done. That's what I was forgetting. We finally opened all the Ghostbusters. So both the Kenner reissues and the new ones from Frozen Empire. So you got like a set of 8 Ghostbusters, which is kind of cool. Ecto 1's up there. The fire station's been, restored forever. All the ghosts that we had access to, because the Marshmallow Man's in storage yet. And then next to him is my Unicron. Yes, I got a Unicron. And all my core class Transformers as a display. And that's super cool. Super cool. Mike took his whole collection down yesterday to organize, get rid of some stuff. I tell you something. When we pulled everything down that first day, I was in knots. I was overwhelmed. It was such chaos, I could not handle it at all. It made me angry. It made me sad. It was like all this work I did to put the shelves up in the first place felt like we were undoing that. It really got to me. Took a lot to come out of that headspace that night. It was fucking weird. Now, as we're starting to see the shelves kind of come to fruition, that feels better, but it's a stressful process. But fun. But it is fun. As far as Technodrome, is it the same size as the original? It's about an inch all the way around, like the diameter of it, it's an inch smaller. But it's fine. And I don't care. It's a $90 Technodrome. And it looks awesome on the shelf. Because the old one was never in scale with what it should have been anyway. So, I understand why people are a little bit miffed, but I heartily recommend the Playmates reissue of the Technodrome. Heartily recommend it. Bum, bum, bum. Yes, Largo, and welcome to the show. It says the chaos persists, but so do we. Fucking right, sir. Fucking right. Yes, Lady Slither is right behind me. She's right behind me. You did, sir. And thank you for that. And for those of you that may go through here and see stuff that you sent, I don't forget that shit. I may sometimes forget who sent what in certain circumstances, but there are always certain things that I remember people for. Like I have all these Hot Wheels and Hot Wheels-esque things in front of me. Those are very special to me. So I know they're from Bjorn. I have a miniature land speeder that's from I think it's from Dean, All Things 80s Dean. I have this World War One, I think, tank that Badger sent me that I love. It's right there in front of me. I have a Godzilla that Gojatron sent. I have a stuffed plushie Godzilla that Largo sent me. We pulled the Monster Arts Final Wars Godzilla off the shelf the other day, and I'm like, oh, where am I going to put these? So I have to find a little monster corner for all my Universal monsters and Godzilla thought of Largo. And everywhere I look in this room, I'm reminded of one of you guys. It's true. And the thing is, part of this project of getting everything out of the goddamn package is so I can see it and enjoy it. Because what I've been trying to say is that I have been building to having the display be what it's supposed to be. The toys out of the packages on the shelf the way they're supposed to be. And that's when, for me, the hobby actually starts. Welcome to the first episode of Displaying Our Dysfunction. My name is Grindhead Jim. Welcome to the show. Folks, I am starting over. Okay? Since I started collecting toys, I have over 120 videos of just that kind of stuff. I have over 200 live streams with those titles. And with all these different things that I said that I wanted to do this year, in January, like I want to talk about this, I want to talk about this, I want to talk about this, I want to have guests, I want to do that. I outgrown the format. I didn't know how to break away from it. And I can't promise you it's going to be every week, but I can promise you that when it does happen, it's going to be on Monday, and it's going to be at 6 p.m. Eastern. If I can get to a point where it can be every week, I would like to do that for you guys, because I know that this is an institution for a lot of you. It certainly is for me. And I realized that what was holding me back was this title, this expectation, and also just the fact that all this stuff didn't look the way it was supposed to look. The hobby wasn't fun for me anymore. I love getting things, but then I'm like, where the fuck do I put it? So as we move towards getting this display as complete as possible, in other words, I'm not going to get it done right tomorrow, but within the next week or two, it's going to be looking pretty damn spiffy. And when I get new toys in, I can open them, talk about them, put them on the shelf. That is what I've been craving for over 3 years, boys and girls. I have been balled up with stress because I can't do this hobby the way I want to do it. And not having these things on the shelf has been the biggest barrier to that. And expressing that had to change. So, again, I am calling the live show Displaying Our Dysfunction, DOD. I don't have a logo made yet, but I will. And sometimes it'll be just me talking. Sometimes I'll have guests. Sometimes I'll have guests. Sometimes it'll be talking about the news. Sometimes it'll be talking to the person. It's going to be all over the place, right? And like I said, I did not come here to scare you, but I wanted you to understand how I got there, why I got there. And there's more to this. Those of you that are like, oh, I'm going to go sleep. The first official act of this show, other than what we're doing right now, this Saturday, the 12th of October at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So I'll be 9 a.m. Central. I got to get up early for this shit. For 12 hours, we're going to be doing a charity stream for Give Kids the World. Some of you know about this. Most of you don't. 12 hours. I'm not doing 24 hours. I'm doing 12. And you guys that have been around know that I can work my way through a long-ass stream for charity. You guys know that about me. I'm going to bring some of you along this time. Stu and his wife Georgie have agreed to come on for certain bits of time. I know that some others of you have committed their time to come on. There's not a schedule. There's not a calendar of things you have to be doing or we have to be talking about. I want us just to hang out, talk about, our collections, our dysfunctions, our lives, whatever it is. Anything we can do to entertain the folks watching, to motivate them to give kids the world. The campaign is already up. I'm going to start advertising the stream tomorrow with the link to donate. You don't even have to show up to the damn show to donate. And you don't have to wait for the show to donate. We have a $1,000 goal. I think it's attainable. I want to get there. It also commemorates my 11th year of this channel. Okay? 11 years I've been doing this channel. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm looking forward to it And then if I have my way, I'll probably be putting out an episode of the show on Monday. It will not be live. This will be a pre-recorded, so it'll be a premiere. I didn't plan it that way. I recorded a pretty long conversation with Stu, the Universal Toy Collector, and Mark Boba Hicks, talking about why people are so hung up on vintage versus other things. And then the conversation goes into other directions and whatnot. And I have to edit it together into a video because there are some things I have to cut out because the format's going to be different. So I will be releasing it next Monday. The reason I'm doing that and not having a live stream is because my father-in-law is going to be in town. He'll be in town Sunday, and then he'll be leaving Monday afternoon. And I don't know for sure that we're going to have the energy to do the show Monday afternoon. I don't know for sure because there's a lot he wants to do, and we want to spend every waking second with him that we can because we don't get to see him that often. And so rather than promise you a show and then not be able to deliver, I'm going to give you a video that I know I can deliver that will take the place of the stream. And then we'll come back the following Monday with the first real live full episode of Displaying Our Dysfunction. And that gives us time to finalize as much as we can the displays. Anything that we can depackage and put up, we're going to do. If I get my way, that means pulling out these bins and pulling out a lot of the loose toys. So, Godzilla willing, we'll be there by then. So, I'm going to check in with you guys here in the chat. Knights of Old asks, where are the Destiny collectibles? They're out in the living room along with the gaming stuff. So I have like the collector's edition, the stuff, Destiny 2 out there. My Destiny 1 collector's edition is in storage. I have to get it out. And I have one of the collector's editions for, I don't even remember which fucking thing. I have a bunch of stuff. It's all out there with the gaming stuff. So. Inku's here, says, I like potatoes. Good thing. You are the best of potatoes. No, Inku, you are the best of potatoes. I love you. I miss you. Swig says, Unicron looks badass. Oh, wait till you see him in person, bub. We'll bring you in here. You're going to like him. He's good. He's good. I like to see the feedback on the title here. I appreciate that. I love you right back. Gojatron says, we're all in this institution together. You are correct, sir. You are correct. This show wouldn't exist without you guys. So, good on you. Appreciate you. Love you. Don't gnaw the kitty. Just stroke him. Love him. You know? Robert's Infinite Realms, welcome back to the show, says, redefinition is the function of life, in my opinion. I mean, you're not wrong. You have to constantly redefine what you're doing. In fact, Redefine is the name of one of my favorite songs by Obituary, but that's neither here nor there. But it always kind of struck me, because it is something, you have to reinvent yourself. I did that a lot as a kid growing up. Every 4 years, you move somewhere, and you take this part to you don't like, you discard it, and you build yourself up into something else, and then you grow into that person. And I think that's what I needed to do this year. You know, everything happens for a reason. And I think I needed this year to just redefine what I want out of life. And step by step, we're getting there. Step by step, we're getting there. A lot of you guys are saying you like the name. Good. It'll probably be the first one, Boba. The big D, little O, big D. For the DOD, because I don't want to be straight DOD, because that's Department of Defense. It's too confusing. I get that. I understand. Displaying our dysfunction, you know. It's only so much I can do, bah. Only so much I can do, bah. And I know you all figured it out beforehand. I was, doing this, but I mean, we're all going to do great things, honey. It's going to be a great show. You're going to be here, too. Oh, yeah. Lauren's going to be here, too. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. What'd you say? What'd you say? Huh? She said, I know. Ted just moved his entire collection into the closet until I can find the shelves you want. Let me know what you're looking for. I'm really good at looking for that sort of thing, and I know you're a busy guy. I'm glad you're still here, listening or not. I'm glad you're all here. I know you can do it. And yes, Squeak, you probably should come on Friday. That will be easier. So let's see. Billy Lifter says, I'll be doing the overpriced statue segments on my show when I do the window shopping segments. Yes, if you can take that segment and not shove it, but you have it on that show. I'm not doing that shit. You can have it. You can take it. No royalties are needed. You're good. Just take that shit. I don't want it. Yeah, boy! The Salt with the super chat, thank you, says, I love Artist Function. What a rush. Appreciate that. All right. All right. So, what does this show mean? It's going to be whatever it has to be. But I've always felt that people who collect and are really heavily invested in these different properties that we are, there's some reason that it sticks with us. Whether it was a developmental boon where it helped us grow as a person, or that we cling to it because we can't as an adult, or just, well, you know, some people are like, well, I just like it. Well, there's got to be a reason. You have to associate it with something. So, you know, in my case, if the episode were about the Superpowers collection, I'd be talking about my link to my dad and how it was also the first collection that I was able to keep up with. That I felt like I had everything, at least for a while, right? So it'll mold and change each time that it happens. And, you know, the videos, while they will also be different, you're going to see more of them. It's going to be much easier for me to showcase toys once they're all off the fucking floor. Okay? So expect a video about Unicron. I'm not going to show you how to transform them because I'm not gonna. If I want one transformed into a planet, I'm going to fucking buy a second one and transform that son of a bitch. Bjorn says, I always have this show on at the shop Mondays when it's slow. Well, there's plenty of episodes, of back episodes that you can watch on those weeks when I'm not here. But we'll get there. I mean, of course I said it like the Legion of Doom. Come on. Come on. Absolutely, man. I didn't say nothing about no Justice Jogger. Okay? One thing at a time. Just... So for those of you, while I was on hiatus, whatever you want to call it, was wondering, yes, I did fund the Superpowers crowdfund drawing board, whatever the fuck you call it. I got everything. Because, one, I want that Black Manta. Two, I want the vehicles. And three, you know, can never have enough Batmans, right? Jason Garcia, my man, love you, pal. So seeing your collection displayed has made me rework mine. Have to post. Oh, that's awesome, man. Oh, wait till this is done. Maybe you'll rework it again. Oh, yeah, that's exactly what you're supposed to think, Ricky. That's what you're supposed to think. I have been getting back into wrestling a little bit. Just Jeff is in the house. My brother. It's good to see you, man. It's good to see you. We gotta get you on the show, too. All you fuckers. I think everybody who hasn't been on the show that I've talked to about being on the show, we need to get on that, right? Jeff's one of them, even though I haven't talked to you about it. Definitely need to get Keith on the show. Need to get Mark back on the show. Need to get Stu back on the show. Need to get Carl back on the show. We're going to figure it all out. But also with all this comes changes to Patreon and YouTube members. Okay, so what you already get, it's not changing. So we're gonna still have some kind of a group participation thing. I do think I want to go back to having the hangout once a month. Okay. Um, Obviously I can't do it this weekend, and then next weekend is Retropalooza, so it's gonna be. I think we'll just have to start it in November, honestly. But what I plan on doing is as part of that hangout. I think I might pose a question to you guys. That's something that'll end up in a video or end up as something we do as a segment of a live stream or something. So you guys get that participation. You get to be on the show, but you don't have to be willing to go live at the Monday and all that shit. We're gonna figure that out. And then I'm gonna leave it to you guys. You guys can tell me what other things you would like to have, because we can kind of roll with that as it goes. Ben Stutley's going to say goodnight. Good night, sir. Thanks for being here. I love you very much. Ricky said, Jacob and I are going to go up to you and be all like, what's up? What's up? That kind of what's up? I hope so. I hope. But again, thank you all for being here. Thank you for the support. And I really didn't want to scare anybody, but I wanted you to know how serious I was about this transmutation of content, and to show you that what has happened in the past is not going to be the way things are going forward, because I'm closing that chapter of content, because it became, at first it was a crutch, and then it became a ball and chain that I drug, and I'm done dragging that shit. I cut the chain. We're fixing the room up. We're going to do this charity stream this weekend. We're going to make a lot of money for the fucking kids. I know that sounds weird for me to say it like that, but fuck. I want to do all these things, and we want to do well for the kids, and we'll have that episode with Mark and Stu on Monday, and then, sky's the limit from there. And I'm you probably notice I'm brighter, I'm lighter of mind and heart, and also a little bit of body. The room looks different. We're gonna keep going, boys and girls. That much I can promise you. For now, I can't retire this. I gotta keep doing this one. May all your card backs be straight. May all your grinds be merry. And may you be able to find anything you're looking for at any given time at a price you feel is reasonable. Especially if it's redemption. We'll see you guys on Saturday. You take care in the meantime. Cheers.